Such a
Klay Thompson, yeah. Splash Brothers, yeah. Cavaliers, nope. We won, yeah. They suck, yeah. We here, yeah. They not, nope.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Courtside Convo with me, Meds. Today we're going to talk about Draymond Green. Now before we begin, I do want to point out that I do think that Draymond Green is a good role player. Nothing special, but he did his role for the championship run of the Golden State Warriors pretty well. But with that being said, let's move on and let me tell you why I made this video. Now I can pull up his average stats over the years or his endless collection of Shaqtin' a Fool clips.
You to KD if KD was 21 feet tall.
Or plays endless clips of dirty plays or flagrant fouls.
What we see in the NBA, that's a flagrant foul. By definition, you are correct, Mike.
I don't know why Draymond is complaining here. It doesn't look as if Harden.
Or his endless album of missed shots.
By KD. We used to call this breaking your back growing up. That we used to try to dunk in.
Or his endless playlist of fights.
And now we got a fight. We have a legitimate fight here.
Or the fact that he says things and never backs them up, like when he said he never gets dunked on.
Yeah, that shit ain't happening. Better check my resume.
Anything else you want to say? Oh! That's your.
Or his endless clips of his horrible attitude towards his teammates or his coaching staff. But instead, I'm going to make this video about my truth of what I think Draymond Green's problem is. The problem is that even though you love his confidence, it's the arrogance that comes with it that's not backed up by his play when, all the all-stars are not around him. He's almost like that guy in a scrimmage where he just happens to be on a stacked team and that team keeps winning. So he's the one that keeps trash talking and he's the one that, is hyping and giving it all the talk. Now, he does say some silly things on his interviews. And I'm sure he looks back at them and he regrets saying half the things.
What do you think of Kyrie's comment that if healthy, the Cavs would have won that series?
If I was 6'11", I think I could be like Anthony Davis. But I'm not. They obviously not the champ, so who cares what they say?
Technically have a lot of enemies around the league.
People hate change. People don't accept change well. They used to go in stages floating around the bottom of the league. They don't want to accept change. So, it's funny. I mean, it's like a bitter female. Like, you ever dealt with a bitter female that's just scorned? God. That's rough. When you're dealing with a bitter female that's scorned, that's one of the worst things in the world. And God, that's bad. Oh man, you struggle without Steph Curry. Like, Michael Jordan struggled without Scottie.
What? That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous. How dare you? How dare you say such a thing?
Oh man, you struggle without Steph Curry. Like, Michael Jordan struggled without Scottie. They can shut the hell up talking to me. Exactly. That's a great point. Like, they be at my neck like, you can't win without all-stars. Like, Michael Jordan struggled without Scottie Pippen. You want to come at me?
See, in this particular clip, the difference is that even though Michael Jordan wasn't winning with Pippen, he was still putting ridiculous numbers and killing the league and, playing amazing defense. And everyone was sure that he's the best player in the league and on his team. Now, you can't really say that with Draymond Green in any year that he's ever played. Draymond Green for me is a typical case of someone being in the right situation at the right time. If he gets drafted by a different team, for example, and he's in a different situation playing a different role, he's bound to struggle, as we've seen recently. If he was on a different team playing a different role, he would probably never even sniff an all-star, which I personally don't think he should have gotten anyway with some of the numbers that he was getting. And look, as players, we all know that when you play with 3 or 4 really good players, it completely changes the game and it's so much easier to play. And I'm sure if you were to replace Draymond Green with a few different other players around the league, they would have done just as well, if not better than Draymond Green. There's all that room with all these all-stars on the floor demanding double teams and triple teams with, you know, the likes of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and KD. Also, before you guys comment about how good his defense is, number one, I think a lot of his defense is dirty plays and he's hacking a lot. And we all know that player that he hacks and plays dirty defense so much that the refs have no choice but to let 80% of it just go. Otherwise, they're just going to have to blow their whistle the whole game. Now, if Draymond Green held himself differently and was humble in his interviews, and, you know, still kept his confidence, but he wasn't arrogant and he wouldn't say things that are just not a player of his caliber should say, then maybe people will view him differently. And I personally think he's often a distraction with his attitude and his words that he says in the media, his technical fouls and his flagrant fouls. He's very emotionally unstable, which is also, I think, is a problem. So before we end the video, let me just quickly fix this bit of the video for you, Draymond.
It's my turn!
Klay Thompson? No. Splash Brothers? No. We won? No. They suck? No. We here? No.
We just gotta continue to battle and win the next game. Go back to Toronto.
No.
Win game 5. Come back to Oracle.
No.
Win game 6. And then celebrate.
No.
Fun times ahead.
So that's it, guys. Again, with the boring stuff, leave a comment, follow, subscribe, like the video, you know, support the channel so I can keep creating content for you guys. And I hope you've enjoyed it again. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, peace.